Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. This video is part 5 of my racist and racism video. When I left off, I was talking to y'all about the Watermelon Man. And now I'm going to search for the cast. So that just in case, no. I hate technology. Alright, so it was Godfrey Cambridge as the main guy, and Estelle Patterson or Parson as his wife, and then there was a Mr. Townsend, and then there was D. Yuville Martin as the bus driver, Aaron Morin as Janice somebody, and some other people. There's a bunch of other people in this damn movie. These are very famous people who I have no idea who they are, but they are all actors. The movie was made in 1970. So, The Watermelon Man. You guys really want to go check this out. And let me read the Wikipedia. Alright. Then I'll get on to the video about racism after I read the Wikipedia to you. The Watermelon Man is a 1970 comedy film directed by Melvin Van Peebles, starring Godfrey Cambridge and Estelle Parson, Howard Kane, D. Uriarte. I can't say this dude's name, so it's capital D, hyphen capital U, R-V-I-L-L-E Martin, Kimberly K, Maintan Moreland, and Aaron Morin. Written by Herman Raucher, R-A-U-C-H-E-R. Tells the story about an extremely bigot 1960 era white insurance salesman named Jeff Gerber, who wakes up one morning and finds out that he has become black. The premises of the film is inspired by Frank. How the hell do you say that? I don't know how to say this last name. Frank Kafka''S Metamorphosis, and by John Howard Griffin's autobiographical Black Like Me. Alright, so this is the picture of the Watermelon Man. Let me move my Facebook, people. See, half black, half white. Alright, so I want you guys to check that out. And now let's get down to business on this racist video. As I told you guys in the other video, that we're not given a choice from birth. We're not. And that was my bones popping, by the way, in case y'all heard that. That was not me passing gas. The fact that they even let this movie be made was a tribute to how the world was starting to change towards being racist in Hollywood. Alright? Now, for the most part, a very, very, very long time ago, there was this thing called blackface, because Hollywood just didn't give black people acting jobs. You could clean up the set, you could build the set, but as far as you being on the screen, yeah, not until like Uncle Remus and Buckwheat, you can pretty much hang that shit up. And I don't remember who plays those two people. But most of the time, they had black characters. It was basically the same BS that Shakespeare pulled. When Shakespeare was making his plays, the more feminine-looking men played the women. Alright? So, yeah, they put a whole bunch of Madame Butterflies before Madame Butterfly came into existence. Because if you read about Shakespeare, they didn't give women acting jobs. See, acting is a funny thing, and I will make a video about that. Before I go too deep, let me just say I'm going to make a video about that. But acting in the old days is a funny thing, because way back when TV and stuff first started, there was theater. And before TV and stuff started, when they literally started hiring actors of all different multiplicities, men played women in those gorgeous gowns and those train track things that hold the gowns wide open. I don't know what to call them. I'm a man. I'm a straight man, so not supposed to know what that shit's called. If I have a daughter, I'll guess I'll have to figure it out. Or, my favorite thing, if I live long enough to have a daughter and she has an issue, ask your mother. If it's not about kung fu, ask your mother. If it's about dating, ask your mother. Because if you ask me, the answer is going to be hell no. Not until I'm dead. Then you can date all you want, because I'm not going to be raising anyone else's children ever the fuck again. Anyway, the point of the matter is, with acting, I'm a small guy. So I'm 5'3", and they would have probably, and providing that I actually would have been the right skin tone, they probably would have made me play a chick. Providing that we get rid of my 5 o'clock shadow, they probably would have made me play a chick because of my body shape and size. As you can see, I'm a short man. I'm a stick. Alright? I have no ass. I have no chest. I'm a stick. Alright? So, they're like, yeah, you're one of the guys, you have like a closer to feminine body versus us burly dudes. You know, we're all buffed up and we got a tiny bit of a beer gut, which I'm graciously do not have. I had to cut back on bread. But, you know, those guys did that. So, racism. Let's talk racism in acting while we're on the subject of acting, as I was beginning. So, for a while, black actors didn't get work. They were lucky enough to even get on the set. Like, in the 60s is when they kind of started, like maybe 50s, 60s is when they actually started really letting more black actors be established. Prior to that, and I'm probably wrong on this, but prior to that, most of the time, it was a white actor covered in charcoal or black face paint or shoe polish or some shit like that, but they just wouldn't give black people the role. It's the same thing with Asians also, because Mickey Rooney played a Chinese man, and I can't remember the name of the movie, but he played a Chinese man. Another guy who was passing has played an Asian man in an 80s show called The Master, and that was Lee Van Cleef. He's not Asian, but he was passing for Asian. Mr. Gray, who I respect, and I can't remember his name, he played an Asian in Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins. But these are movies closer to the 80s and TV shows closer to the 80s. But prior to the 60s, 70s, and the late 50s, most of the actors were white that were covered in shoe polish and black face paint or whatever. And most of the time they had only covered their hands and their face. And they wore long sleeves and everything. So, you know, you can go Google blackface. There's a whole history on it. We're not going to go into that. But for the most part, I just wanted to touch that up at the beginning of this video, that there was a lot of white actors that played black characters, as there were a lot of male actors in theater that played female characters until, I guess some people took chances on female actresses and on black female actors and actresses. So, racism. Let's get down to the guts, because this is the 5th video. Racism is one of those things that is an enigma amongst itself. Racism is an enigma to the racist people who are saying racist things because they don't even know that they're being racist. Or they do know, and to quote my favorite Korean singer, Boa, they don't give a damn. It's one of her songs. I don't give a damn. Trust me, it's a good song. Even if you don't speak Korean, you'll understand the part about I don't give a damn. I know who I am. The thing with racism, alright, if you have never experienced racism, excuse me, on a face-to-face personal level, I can only tell you in one word what you are. You, my friend, are blessed. Alright? Now, I will say interracial couples probably haven't had it the worst of all. And interracial children, like myself, have also had it the worst of all. But as time has gone on, things have changed a bit. You know, people are getting a little bit more accepting. You know, it's becoming more of the norm. It has also been one of the leading things that has led to racist attacks and things like the Unite the Right that happened here, where people fear that there won't be any more blonde-haired, blue-eyed people running around, and there will be people who look more like me, where your skin is brown and your eyes are light, and everybody just really wants to fight. They're afraid of that. Well, here's a news flash for you. First and foremost, you can't help who you fall in love with. And as many as there is multicultural couples, there are many people who just don't feel that that is a thing, you know, and they want to stick with their own. And respectfully enough, you kind of have to respect that. It's just something that you feel. Now, on a sad note, did you know a lot of people can't help who they fall in love with? And this is where shit gets complicated when you come from a racist family and you give your child an ultimatum. So let's say I'm dating a Chinese girl and I treat her better than any Chinese boy she's ever been with. All the Chinese boys treat her like dog shit. Let's say she's had maybe 5 boyfriends in her entire life. And each one has treated her like dog shit. They smacked her around. They call her all kinds of names. They treat her like dog shit. They disrespect her parents. And so she brings home a guy like me. My skin is brown. My eyes aren't as slanted as her previous boyfriends, unless I smile a lot. And, you know, her parents are like, what are you doing with this guy? And I could be the love of her life. And they would go have a talk after dinner and after I help wash dishes or whatever I choose to do. And we go home. Her phone will be ringing off the hook. And the next day, we break up. This has not happened. This is just a scenario. The next day, we break up because her parents are racist. And they have given her an ultimatum of, if you love him, then we will disown your ass. You have no idea how many lives has been destroyed because of that threat of being disowned. Because a person who loves your daughter more than life itself, who would die for your daughter, is not your color. But she's never found a person who treats her like I would treat her. But because I am a different color, you decide you're going to be disowned by us if you stay with this man of color. Relationship's over. We had a good thing going. There was no cheating. There was only love. There was nothing but magic. But because of the family threatened to disown her, the relationship is over. This happens thousands of times. Because some people feel like I feel family is all you really have. However, you can create your own family. I have learned that because, you know, I don't date black chicks. And my family has given me a fuck ton of problems about it. I mean, literally a fuck ton. Why you don't like black chicks? Why you don't like black chicks? Why should I have to like black chicks? Because that's what you want. You want to date black chicks? Hey, knock yourself the fuck out. That's your prerogative. It's not mine. I'm sadly not attracted to black chicks. I've had some bad experience with black chicks, and it just fucked me for black chicks for the rest of my life. It's not all the black chicks' fault, but it's that majority versus that minority of how I got this way. You know, had they been honest and not trying to get me shot by a 23-year-old and not bringing a new boyfriend to my fucking porch, you know, things might be different. But that's what happened. I had the same problem with a couple of white chicks. Only it wasn't because I was about to be killed, but it was because, oh, we broke up over the phone. And I don't know how you broke up with me over the phone because I was at work. So whoever you broke up with, it wasn't me. But the goal to bring your new boyfriend, who's my doppelganger, to my job, kind of ended that. I couldn't get fired to beat the guy's ass either, which was the fun part because I was trying to do everything to get out of that kitchen in that bowling alley called Kegler's to beat my doppelganger's ass. And now as a grown man, when I think about it, you know, it's kind of not his fault. He didn't know about me. So you have to grow up real fast if you're going to be in relationships. But yeah, a lot of relationships are brought to an end not because that they don't love you. It's because their families done dug into them and put the fear of I'm going to disown you into them. So they pretty much decide I love you, but I want to keep my family. My family will not accept you. So I'd rather lose you and be with someone who treats me like dog shit to please my family than be loved by you and have you treat me like the greatest gift that God ever gave man. This happens all the time, which again, it's racism. It's pure D racism. And this is how you know that you are born into a racist family. When you find the love of your life and they are not the color of skin that you are. And your parents decide you can't love this person. We don't want you anywhere near this person while we're still on this side of the earth. Life's destroyed now. Now you want to move on and you got to find someone that pleases your parents. They got to be the same color. It doesn't matter if they don't work. It doesn't matter if they do drugs. It doesn't matter if they are pieces of dog shit, disrespect your parents, disrespect you. But that's what you settle for because the person that you love is a different color. And you want to please your parents. Please yourself. Fuck your parents. They're going to die eventually. And then when they die, you've had babies by someone you didn't want to have babies, so now you're stuck with that fucker. The baby could have all kinds of issues watching you be treated like dog shit by this person that you chose to be with because your parents demanded that you be with another person who is either Asian or black or white. It's not the person that you should have been with that loved you and could have loved you until the day you breathe your last breath. This happens because of racist people. This is how you know you've been brought up by a fucking racist. No. And then the fact that you choose to stay in that. And then you follow their traditions by bringing up your kid to be a racist. Sooner or later the cycle will stop because you will probably have someone in your family, it might be a grandchild. And your grandchild will bring home a man of color who sadly and painfully could be a descendant of the one you let get away because you were being stupid. And you started talking with the young man. And the young man says, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He's very well mannered. He's been raised by an excellent man. The one you let get away. He's also mixed. Because he couldn't be with you, but he couldn't get whatever your race is out of his head. So he marries a girl just like you. Like the Adele song says. Maybe someday I'll find someone like you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, not happening. I'd rather have you than try to find someone like you because you're one of a kind, just like everyone else. But eventually, you know, shit happens. And so he's well-mannered. And he is the exact grandson. Who's the exact same age and has gone with your granddaughter. And so your granddaughter brings him home. And he's the same shade of light as the one you let him go away. So he's up here. And your granddaughter's in love with this guy. And her parents, your children, don't like him. Because your parents raised you to hate your lover. And you raised your child to hate your lover. So now you had a child who has brought home the child of your lover's child. And they're in love. They don't disrespect you. They love you. And you tell your granddaughter what was told to you. And your daughter or son tells your granddaughter what was told to you. And your granddaughter has a set of kahunas the size of Pikachu. And she goes, well, fuck both of y'all. I'm out. And her lover, the grandson of your lover, who could have been your child, or your child's child, pack up, jump ship, move all the way across the world. You never hear from them again. And she has a child. Then they get word, somehow someone he knows bumps into you. Or it's the old guy that you let go. And he's on the phone with his grandson, who's dating your granddaughter, who've gotten married and they're living out west somewhere, living it up, having the time of their lives. Happily ever after, the life that you and your old lover could have had, but you decided to, I'm going to stay with my family. Fuck what I want. I'm going to please them. Now you're talking, and y'all have that new thing. They call it FaceTiming or whatever. And he's FaceTiming with your granddaughter, your great-granddaughter, and her husband, his grandson. And you just happen to walk up in the store, like chance encounter, or like I like to say, God's design. You bump into him. You're like, don't I know you? Yeah, you dumped me like 40 years ago for some white dude. And who you on the phone with? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the phone with my son's son. And he married your grandchild. And they have a great grandchild. And I'm flying out to California tomorrow to go see them. Oh my God, when did they have a baby? Well, maybe if y'all wouldn't have kicked them out of your life, you would probably know that. And they're both doing well for themselves on whatever career paths they chose to take. But, you know, when you're racist, when you're prejudiced, and you decide to disown your child because they were in love with someone who actually loved them and treated them like gold. But you didn't want that when it was your turn at bat. And now you see how it could have worked out, and you live in regret. These are the things that happen to people in the world. Which goes back to, you don't get a choice at who you fall in love with. You don't get a choice at what color they are. No. I love Asian women. I have it my way. I'm going to marry an Asian woman. You know, then hopefully would more than likely be my crush. But, you know, I can dream big. But, you know, that's just the way I see it. But the thing, you know, a lot of people who have been in love with people for a very long time because of prejudice and racism didn't get their happy ever after. They didn't. I do fear that I may never get my happy ever after because I don't want to be single forever, but apparently I am. And the thing with that is, you know, racism destroys lives. It doesn't have to. But until we stop allowing it to happen, it always will. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I will be making a 6th video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. I don't know when I will be making that 6th video, but it is almost 1 a.m. Okay, it's 12:16. I might make that 6th video in a few minutes. Well, thank you guys for watching. This is 22 minutes of your life that you can't get back. So, think about some of the things I said. Be seeing you.